Chances are you know Colson Baker best as Machine Gun Kelly, or MGK, a multi-talented artist well known for his genre duality across alternative or punk rock with hip-hop these days. He's also an actor and a fixture of the public eye. Whether it's for his high-profile relationship with Megan Fox or his boundary-pushing outfits, and MGK released his fifth album in 2020, Tickets to My Downfall, and marked to complete departure from hip-hop into pop-punk. An album debuted at #1 in the Billboard 200, found similar success with its follow-up album, Mainstream Sellout. While much of MGK's life is highly publicized, there's a lot you likely still don't know about the artist, like how he managed to make it in the music industry at the age of 20 while battling a drug addiction and working a dead-end job at Chipotle, with a child on the way to boot. Today we'll talk about this, his early and humble beginnings, path to fame, and much more. Here for you on Famous Life. Machine Gun Kelly was born Richard Colson Baker on April 22, 1990, in Houston, Texas. His parents were living in Texas as missionaries, but they didn't stay there long. He spent much of his early childhood in places like Egypt and Germany. Apparently, he learned how to speak Arabic before he ever learned how to speak English. Okay, well, maybe that Arabic thing is a bit of an exaggeration. Eventually, his parents moved back stateside, first to Chicago, before finally settling in Denver, Colorado for a short period of time. Kelly experienced a pretty typical childhood, but it wouldn't last. His mom was unhappy with the family's lifestyle and met another man taking off with him when Kelly was just 9 years old. From that point, their relationship became extremely strained. He told the New York Post, "There's a few memories to even burn in the first place because she left when I was so young. But the ones that are there, I've numbed those parts out of me. I'm obviously an avid LSD user. I don't think it's a secret." Kelly's father didn't handle the split well. He fell into a depression and was soon out of work. Kelly and his father moved into his aunt's basement, and Kelly faced bullying on a daily basis. While he attended Hamilton Middle School in Denver, his father was a black hole of misery, and Kelly took to music to find solace. He started listening to rappers like Ludacris, Eminem, and DMX to inject some energy and vivaciousness into his life. As influentials, rap was to him at this early age. He was also a huge fan of alternative rock acts like Blink-182, Guns N' Roses, and Rage Against the Machine. Despite finding an outlet for his angst in music, Kelly continued to be bullied well into high school, where he attended Thomas Jefferson High. It was Kelly who would one day have the last laugh. At this point, Kelly started acting out and would have some run-ins with the law. Things started off simply enough with him stealing CD players when he was only 14, but they quickly escalated, and Kelly found himself catching charges for an unspecified crime. Around this time, his father left for missionary work in Kuwait, and Kelly had to take care of himself, considering everything that was going on in his life. It's probably not much of a surprise to find out that Kelly soon found himself experimenting with drugs. On the plus side, he also started creating music. As first amateur demos, tape was Stamp of Approval in 2006, which he recorded in his basement, soon after his father returned home and the tour on the move once again. This time to Cleveland, Ohio, where Kelly enrolled in Shaker Heights High School, the same school Kid Cudi was enrolled in. The two would eventually find themselves wrapped up in a small beef with a demo tape in hand. He began taking his calm music career seriously and spread his work all around the school. That's when he earned himself the moniker Machine Gun Kelly due to his rapid-fire delivery of lyrics. Just like that, he was making a name for himself amongst fans of hip-hop all over Ohio. Kelly graduated from high school, but soon after, another wrinkle popped up in his life. His dad kicked him out, so he had to find a job to support himself. Enter Chipotle, where Kelly considered himself a man of the people, always making sure everyone got double helpings when building burritos. While trying to juggle this job and blossoming music career, Kelly found out he was also about to be a father, a problem that was further compounded by his addiction to heroin and his constant living on the brink of homelessness. His addiction would last a couple of years, but he was eventually able to kick the habit with the help of rehabbing counseling. After taking control of his demons, more success was just around the corner. He was featured on MTV2's Sucker-Free Lifestyle that landed him on the national scene. Then, in May 2010, he made his debut single, Alice in Wonderland, releasing the track on iTunes. He released Lace Up, the mixtape, in November of that year, and started to develop his on-camera persona with a YouTube channel that created a series of vlogs. In 2011, he signed with Sean Combs and Bad Boy Records, releasing Half Naked and Almost Famous, which made it all the way to number 46 on the Billboard 200. He found even more success with his follow-up album, Lace Up, which dropped in October 2012 and reached number 4 on the Billboard 200. That same year, he was selected for the XXL freshman list, alongside the likes of French Montana, Macklemore, Iggy Azalea, and Future. But it was the feud he'd find himself in with one of his idols, and Eminem, that really got his name out there. After firing off a less than well-thought-out tweet that drew attention to how attractive he thought Eminem's then 16-year-old daughter was, he was immediately on Slim Shady's list. The two started taking shots at one another back and forth. Diss tracks like Rap, Devil, and Kill Shot volley back and forth. Kelly even accused him of trying to kill his career by preventing his music from getting airtime on radio stations. Perhaps looking to expand his options, Kelly started getting involved with acting back in 2014. He landed his first gig on Cameron Crowe's series Roadies, along with lead roles in films like Viral and Nerve. By 2015, his musical career was back on track with the release of General Admission, which debuted at number 4 in the Billboard 200. In 2017, he released his third album, Bloom, which debuted at number 8. And finally, in 2019, he released Hotel Diablo, that made it all the way to number 5 on the Billboard 200. But things really started to take off when MGK's new style and music took form just after 2020. Baker released this song, Why Are You Here?, which was also pop-punk, in December 2020, and the same month, he began to tease an upcoming project that Travis Barker was producing, later being revealed that it was an entirely pop-punk album. MGK's album Tickets to My Downfall would be released in September 2020, and its first single, Bloody Valentine, was released in May 2020, starring none other than Megan Fox in the music video, who would soon become his partner. Following singles from this album included Concert for Aliens and My Ex's Best Friends. In 2020, during the COVID lockdowns, MGK also released daily recordings covers in Collapse as part of his Lockdown Session series, including covers of Misery Business with Travis Barker, Champagne Supernova, and more. On November 22, 2020, MGK announced his album, Tickets My Downfall, will be turned into a first-of-its-kind musical film experience entitled Downfall's High, which would air in January 2021, directed by MGK and rapper Mod Sun, with whom he's collaborated with prior to the project. Downfall's High was narrated by MGK and Travis Barker, and Sir Chase Hudson and Sydney Sweeney as teen lovers in a pop-punk version of Grease. Other artists like Ian Dior and Trippie Redd also made appearances. In 2021, MGK announced his next album would be called Born with Horns, and mark another collab with friend Travis Barker. The first single, Paper Cuts, was released in August, and some months later he also had a song collaboration with Willow titled Emo Girl. At the end of January 2022, MGK announced that the recent album had been retitled, now named Mainstream Cello. In terms of MGK's acting career, it was also kicking off, and in 2021, he announced he would be starring in and co-directing the movie Good Morning, along with Mod Sun, Dove Cameron, Megan Fox, and more. It was released in 2022. He then played Felix in the 2018 thriller film Bird Box with Sandra Bullock, and in 2019, he portrayed drummer Tommy Lee in The Dirt, a Netflix biographical film about Motley Crue, then Baker would star on the 2020 superhero flick project Power opposite Jamie Foxx. And a year later, he appeared in the crime thriller Midnight in the Switchgrass alongside Megan Fox and Bruce Willis, as well as the action western movie The Last Son. As for what's next for Machine Gun Kelly, the sky's the limit. Not only has he grown his fan base following with his switch to pop-punk style music, but his relationship with Megan Fox also put him prominently in the spotlight. We'll just have to see when his next music is released, or when he announces he's starring in another film. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Prime Interest and leave a comment for who you'd like us to feature next.